Puerto Rico, where I'm from, is becoming an increasingly popular place to move among wealthy Americans.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
That's because of laws that provide them with significant tax breaks.
And nobody drives like regular cars, it's all like golf carts.
Dude, everyone here drives golf carts. It's like a giant game of Mario Karts for adults.
You know, one of the sore points is that a majority of Puerto Ricans aren't actually eligible to take advantage of this.
For the people of Puerto Rico.
Why is that? Tell me how it's all structured to keep Puerto Ricans out of it.
Salió a relucir que un primo del gobernador Pedro Pierluisi era dueño de uno de los apartamentos.
We love Puerto Rico.
So we are in Dorado right now. It's a 2,400 acre estate. And it's a bit secluded.
And we also love Puerto Rico.
Before we move things forward, there is somebody here tonight that has demanded they get a chance to talk to you.
Oh, cochino.
So, here he is.
Oh. Will you have this, Rose? There we go. Get into it.
Welcome to Bro Taste This.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting episode of Vida y Vino, brought to you by the Bro Taste This Network. Channel? Conglomerate?
Environment?
Culture.
Corporation.
Brought to you by the Bro Taste This
Corporation.
The BTTC.
Colony.
And joining you today, as always, it's me, your lovely host, who knows the most, Phil Golden Corral. With me today, as always, is the big tech daddy himself, the Fred Durst of podcasting, Luis Pablo.
Thank you.
And everything. We are off to a hot start, but I wouldn't have it any other way with the Juan and only in the room. Juan, mother effing legend.
How are you doing, buddy?
What's up, my brother?
How was your week?
You okay? Look like you got attacked by a tripod.
No, it just jumped at me.
Just jumped at you?
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Well, it's a good thing you're not Puerto Rican because a lot of things would be jumping at you, like the weather and lightning and what have you. Women,
women love them some Puerto Ricans,
and men too. We'll talk about that on top of the hour. Today we're going to be discussing everything from Puerto Rican news to hurricanes to kids seeing ghosts. A little Kid Cudi reference there. But today we're going to be starting off with a nice, delicious. What is this, New Glarus Oktoberfest?
Yeah, that's right, Phil. Nice job.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. What can I say? People can even say that we do this as a hobby, that we drink for fun, which is
it's a real sacrifice.
Yeah, on our livers.
Yeah,
our pride.
Exactly.
Our mental.
Exactly. We're sacrificing our bodies for the people. Yeah. What does that taste like to you?
Oh, I'm about to find out. See, usually from the New Glarus family, I'm a big spotted cow guy. Maybe a little bit of fat tire, maybe even a little bit of the what is that? Flying squirrel?
Yeah.
Or fat squirrel?
Fat squirrel.
My bad. Flying squirrels is my favorite animal out there. Ouchie, mama! Wow. Honestly, I didn't expect that to be that bold of a taste. What is this? A stag? Right.
Yeah, it's called Staghorn Oktoberfest.
Staghorn Oktoberfest. You know what's pretty interesting about the word stag? Going stag is like a term for like guys that like just become celibate, right? Or like, is that bachelors? Or am I getting this wrong?
I thought it was a term for bachelors.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was like, oh.
Yeah, I thought it was a term for bachelors. Like stags are a bunch of single guys.
He's gone. Yeah, a bunch of single guys. Yeah, stag. He's gone stag.
Yeah, so it means going unaccompanied by a person of the opposite sex to a social event. Oh, okay. So John decided to go stag to his roommate's party. Okay. The girls decided to go stag to the dance. It means like it's just you with either by yourself or with the boys or maybe non-genderless friend if you also recognize as a non-genderless person.
And to anybody
Non-binary.
wondering, Luis is an awesome source for this because he's our most knowledgeable source on anything UK related, specifically soccer. So I just assume that translates over to the whole culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're very proper over there, overseas.
They are.
You know, especially in a time of crisis right now.
Yeah. Bit sad, innit?
Anyways, we didn't get to the beer, buddy. What
Yeah,
did you
please
think?
describe the beer.
Oh yeah, the Staghorn. It's a beautiful, bold taste. You know, honestly, I would pair this a Blue Moon. If anyone's familiar to a nice Blue Moon taste, nice citrusy, bold, full body taste. Right? It's a little bit dark since it's a Staghorn.
I was gonna say, like, for me, it felt very malty and like almost like silky and thick, like almost the way like a dark porter beer drinks. But this isn't a dark beer. It just feels like kind of malty and silky.
By
like
malty, do you
creamy.
mean like a 1940s like pharmacy vibe to it? You go
No,
in there,
I
you
mean,
get like a
like-
nice malt.
Like almost like walking into a pizza shop and you smell the yeast in the air. You know,
Oh.
like that kind of like malty in your mouth. You know. No, it's a good thing. Like, I mean, when you're talking about beers, like,
Yeah, if you were
there's like a malt level to it.
if you were
It
describing
just means like bold, you know, like.
Okay.
if you were describing anything else, I mean it sounds horrendous, but you describe
Yeah.
a beer and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that tastes like.
Nice.
What did
hoppy.
you think though? Though I know this is one of your favorite beers.
And not introduced, but still present in the room is Leo.
Yep.
We got to come up with a nickname for Leo.
yeah, I was gonna say
It'll
that'll
come naturally.
That'll
It'll
come
come
naturally
naturally.
and later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely
Oh,
forgot about that.
It's good to be back.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
I don't know. I've really liked Oktoberfest beers. I literally just started drinking them like last year, but they do make you feel like fall. Like they're a bit more full and just like they're smooth. I've always found them smooth. They're not like as aggressive as like other beers where you like drink them and you get like this big flavor.
A big
Like,
head rush.
like an IPA or a
Yeah,
like super
IPAs,
hoppy.
They're just like you taste them and you like taste all that right away. But these are like big, more full. I've always liked them because like even the other brands that have Oktoberfest, they've always been good. They haven't disappointed me yet.
Hell yeah.
It's a good. You did mention that it's a good full drink. You know, like it's a good like put on a good sweater, get a nice bowl of chili, go out there, enjoy a good dark beer.
That's right. That's right. A few of us are dressed for the weather today.
Yeah, it's fucking 60 degrees out, and you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, you on the odd duck here? I was trying to look around.
You looked around the room.
I was like, maybe later.
You know that saying, if there's one asshole in a group and you don't know who the asshole is, it's you.
It's you.
That was you looking around the room.
Jeez, I wonder who they're talking about.
Man, really sad. It's sad that everybody's cold here. I'm over here warm.
That's fucking beautiful.
It's a late
Juan has
summer
a
and
flannel, right? With
Oh, yeah.
nice cool like fall
Dude.
beer.
Exactly.
Y'all want to know something? This is my first like ever like real flannel. Everything else I've ever gotten has been like some Target shit, like Route 21 shit. Today I went against the curve and I got some from Costco.
Hell yeah.
This thing like $15.
Dude, I can't wait till you
What
get
up?
a new pair of Reeboks, like little white sneakers, little hiking boots,
The
little
Nike
hiking
Air
bags.
Monarchs.
Yeah,
The classic dad
exactly.
shoe.
Dude, come on, New Balances, guys. I'm gonna be a stylish dad.
He's got to walk around.
New
mileage.
Balances are in right now. Everybody's wearing the
Yeah.
669s and the 572s. I mean, it's crazy how much those shoes popped off in the last couple of years.
New Balance and Champion.
I remember
Champion
when
took
you
a-
used to
Champion
get
for
dogged
sure.
on for wearing New Balances.
Yeah.
Like if you wore that shit in high school, your ass was like getting dogged on.
Who invited the poor?
Yeah. If your family got like some like assistance from the church or whatever, get like people rocking on new shoes, showing your friends and like
But you did touch on another one, which is Champion. Champion, like, fuck, Champion and Starter isn't like Starter is a little bit more under the radar.
And
but
one.
I'm waiting for
No one's
anyone to
right.
take off. I'm
I
investing
mean,
in that.
with the recent documentary that's been put out. It's dude, it's fucking crazy.
Do you have a documentary?
Yeah, so there was a 30 for 30 a couple years ago on ESPN, but Netflix just did a 4 documentary part series on different sporting related things, and the first one was on the rise and fall of And One, which for those who don't know, it was a very popular basketball brand that started off as T-shirts. And most people know it for the reality show that became And One, which was And One Street Ball, where they did like a tour across the country. And it was literally like fake rules basketball, like literally NBA Street brought to life. But you got to see like
did
how
everybody in this room, I know you did and you did you hear about that like particular basketball team?
the And One
And
Street
One?
Ball?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
know
one
what it
Street Ball?
was with like hot sauce in
God
them.
damn,
Yes.
all right then.
Yeah.
The professor.
All right then. I was sitting in a
They were essentially
cultural
like
blind
a
spot.
like a different like competitive like Globetrotters. They were like the
Yes.
opposite to
Yeah.
the Globetrotters, you know.
All right.
Like spectacle going around like just schooling local teams or performing against each other.
Hell yeah, that does sound like a potentially like,
scrimmages.
fun documentary.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the documentary itself is amazing. And they still, on YouTube, you can actually find some of the old mixtapes that they would make. But yeah, like
Damn, they had mixtapes.
that's what they were called. They were called like And One Mixtape. And what they would do in order to sell merchandise, they would say you can get a free VHS copy as long as you buy one thing that's And One. Well, everybody's going to buy the T-shirts first because they're the cheapest item. But then eventually people would buy like the shoes. And Vince Carter, during probably the most iconic Vince Carter dunk contest when he was with the Raptors, he actually wore the And One Tai Chis, which are the white and red. I mean, it's an amazing photo.
Shout out Drake, Toronto rappers.
Exactly. No, it's awesome. I highly recommend the documentary and go check out some of that stuff.
Dude, ESPN puts out bangers, the 30 for 30s and like
Those are usually really good.
Yeah.
they have
Netflix made this one, but they did make a 30 for 30 back in the day,
hell
a couple
yeah.
years ago.
They do not miss. Buster Douglas, the one with him and Mike Tyson. You know who Buster Douglas is?
No, I'm not familiar.
No?
He was also a boxer, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when Mike Tyson was going on his hot streak, you know, I think he's just got out of jail at this point. So he was already, you know, went in with like the baddest man, you know, on the planet reputation. And he had his return fight from prison after he raped his wife, you know. By rape, he held her down and performed Congolitas?
Kunalungai?
Conalungai?
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Because it's plural. Kunalungai.
Conalungai.
Yeah, there's more than one lip.
Yeah.
So you got to get in there.
Jesus Christ. I don't know if you guys are messing with
No,
me.
man, it's
No,
Kunalungai.
why would we want you to look foolish?
Yeah.
You can do that yourself.
Jesus
Anyways,
Christ.
Kunalungai.
And the ESPN thing is called betting the odds or some shit like that. And the odds were like, oh no, it's 1 to 10 or some shit like that. The odds were so low for Buster Douglas, who was like
beat
this,
his ass.
yeah, essentially to win the fight. And like the whole ESPN 30 for 30 follows like Buster Douglas and like his mom. Like he got a phone call from his mom and saying that like, don't fight Mike Tyson because like I said,
Because you're going to die.
yeah, every person that went against Tyson at this point just got murdered. Right?
Usually first round, yeah.
And then he went to jail, so like fuck, he's just been getting mean and you know in prison or whatever. He gets out. They had the big fight in Tokyo, I think, or overseas, over in the Asian countries over there. And yeah, Buster Douglas got him right. Upset. What did I not say that wrong?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I just love your
Please continue.
style.
Yeah.
I'm cultured. What am I supposed to say?
I just love your style.
I'm world.
No,
traveling.
go on about Buster.
Please bust.
But he got him.
Bust it, you know?
Buster busted up Mike
Bust it
Tyson.
real good.
The phone call thing with his mom, right? His mom called him, was like, please don't take the fight. You're gonna get murked. Like all this stuff. Like he's the baddest man on the planet. And then Buster Douglas said like, oh, you should be calling Mike Tyson and saying that to his mommy. Like legit though, right?
God damn.
And right after that, his mom,
Bro.
his mom
He
said,
had a Michael Jordan moment. He took it real personal, bro.
bro, for real though, like because everyone's like the odds were so low against Buster Douglas. He's like, you know, Mike Tyson ain't shit.
Yeah.
And so he said that to his mom, like, oh, you better go tell that to Mike Tyson.
To Mama Tyson.
His mama. And she's like, you sounded just like your father. That's a man now. He's good. She went around telling like, oh, my boy's gonna beat Mike Tyson and all that stuff. I don't know. It's a heartwarming story.
My favorite Mike Tyson story is he has his own podcast now.
Oh yeah.
And he recently had on, not recently, but in the last probably year, he had on Ryan Garcia, the YouTube boxer. He's an actual boxer, but he's made a lot of fame on YouTube.
Wasn't he at the Creator Clash that just happened? Or
Yes.
is that, okay.
Yeah. And you know he's actually a very well respected boxer, but he's just very viral on YouTube as well. And he asked Mike Tyson, he's like, who in history would you have liked to fought against? And you would think Mike Tyson would say like Muhammad Ali or like, maybe Mayweather. Mike Tyson said Achilles.
Achilles.
Jesus.
Just to put you in the headspace of where this guy is at to this day. To the
I didn't expect that.
There's some people that are just different.
I didn't expect that answer.
There's something.
He might as well have been like Zeus.
Yeah, he might as well. But
he's like Zeus, Poseidon, bring me all those fuckers.
The fact that he said he's like Achilles, because he was the greatest warrior. He's like not a god. He's like no. Bring me someone who I could have fought against. It's just fucking.
Yo, how good would it have been if like instead of Achilles, he was like Thanos.
It's like, bro, what?
He's like, Roman mythology,
Dude, and the look on Ryan's face after he said Achilles, he's just like, God damn, like, what?
Dude, my favorite Mike Tyson stories are much less anticlimactic. My favorite stories are just him being on various podcasts, pulling out a bag of mushrooms and eating handfuls while he's on the podcast and just riding it out like a champ.
Dude, those are like his Scooby snacks.
Yeah,
he's all fucked up.
He talks about how he takes like bags of mushrooms like on a regular basis. So,
when he was on Rogan a couple years ago, he talked about how when he did DMT, he was really scared for probably like 5 minutes straight. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, it's because I'm a scared little boy." And just like opens his heart up to Rogan. He's like, "I was a bad motherfucker. I was a crazy motherfucker, but in reality, because I was just so sad. I was a little boy. I miss my dad." And you're like,
Mr. Tyson, were you scared of yourself?
I looked myself in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw on the other side. Like, this is one of the scariest people on earth that's ever lived, and he's just opening up to a bald guy who's 5'8" across from him.
Hey, that's being generous.
Yeah, he's 5'7.5".
That's on a Tinder account.
It's the platformers.
God damn. But I mean, that's a perfect note to like transition into this month of September, which is mental health awareness. That not a lot of people know that it's men's
mental health awareness month.
Yeah,
correct.
Talk about a mouthful, right? Am I right, fellas?
Yeah.
Pause. That's a pause moment.
But yeah, man, I think that kind of goes in line with me trying to be sober. It's now been a couple weeks, and I mean I haven't noticed anything different. It really doesn't kick in until about a month. But I'm excited for better sleep and just. Not that I was like hitting the bottle every night, but I was just having a few cocktails on the weekends, and a few became a lot, and it's just better to reel it in. You know what I mean?
It adds up. But now that you're going so many days sober now, have you noticed a difference in like appreciation of things? I know recently.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Had a trip to the Windy City.
Yeah,
a
man.
bunch of shenanigans over there, right?
No, for sure. It does just make you feel way more present in moments where you just don't expect it as much. When you're at a concert, you want to be having a good time, so naturally you just have a drink or you smoke and all sorts of whatever shenanigans you want to get into. But I was at
you go to the bathroom, you take your pants down, you have your friend put a syringe of Molly up your ass, and you're like, I'm just trying to have a good time,
Yeah, you just want to enjoy the moment.
Was that too specific?
Why would you use a syringe?
Yeah, just lick his fingers and put him up there.
He's your friend, right?
Yeah, exactly. You want to ride home or not? Shove the Molly up there. And yeah, like I was in a very big crowd. It was at the United Center, which is where the Blackhawks and Bulls play.
Damn, you were at a stadium.
Yeah, I mean it's a massive venue. And yeah, you're kind of just sitting there waiting for him to go on. And, we probably sat for like an hour and a half and watched the openers, and who sucked, by the way.
Now, the people who don't know, who's him waiting for who to go on?
Kid Cudi.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in Chicago this last weekend, which will actually move us on to the next topic, interesting enough. And yeah, you just feel really present in the moment because I'm just drinking club soda with lime. And
so you still sip it on something?
Yeah, just because you're somewhere.
Get the habit going.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, he's just performing, and you're not like taking it all in when you're drinking, but when you're just like stone cold sober and you're looking around and everybody's just kind of on their phone, like you feel really like existential. Like you're like, I feel like we could all fall. Like you start all these thoughts are going through your head of like, oh damn, like hopefully there's not a fire. I hope this person next to me scoots over.
Hopefully this has become a Travis Scott concert and I get
You get really
mangled
neurotic,
like-
basically.
What's that?
You get really neurotic.
Yeah, I mean, I do personally,
Yeah.
but overall, you just feel way more present, like when
more
you,
aware.
Yeah, very aware. And
Okay.
you know, when Kid Cudi was performing, and it was essentially a hits tour because he hasn't released an album in a while. Is you're
Was
just
there a
like,
lot of people on their phones though?
No, I just mean like while you're waiting.
Oh, okay.
You know, what, like what I'm saying is you feel very
Yeah.
aware and present of everything that's going on. Which, like in the past, I would just be like, same on my phone, drinking, just like, oh, let's go get another cocktail, or let's go, you know, go get some air. Let's have a, you know what I mean? Like it was very interesting. It was the first concert I've ever been to where I haven't like gotten high or drank, and especially at Kid Cudi, it would be like the perfect
That's
one
true.
to do it at.
That is true.
Because everybody's just high.
It's in the music.
He's literally, he has a song called Marijuana.
Yeah.
And he has a ton of music about getting high. That's kind of his niche.
The stoner lays awake at night.
Day and night.
What? But
What are some early memories of Kid Cudi? Because I remember Kid Cudi really blowing off in middle school, like when I was a wee young boy.
It was 2011, I think, was Man on the Moon. And then I think Indicud was 2013.
Damn.
So Man on the Moon Part 2 was probably in between there as well.
Those were my 3 favorite albums.
Yeah, he really blew off with that.
Yeah. Exactly. I went to go see him back in 2013 on the Indicud tour. And yeah, man, I mean, he's one of my favorite artists of all time, puts out amazing music, and he's one of the first few artists that I really connected to. So to see him again almost 10 years later was quite a blessing.
And stone cold sober, so you can really appreciate like even the lyrics and the environment and like how other people are like reacting to this song.
Dude, there was a guy in front of me, and my fiance can attest to this. It might have been Kid Cudi's concert, but it was his moment. Like he was recording himself, like rapping along. His girlfriend was recording him, like smoking a blunt, and he's just like waving his arms around, just like enjoying it. And I'm like, fair enough. You know, if that's why you came to show. And you know, it's not like the seats were great, so you know, but no, he was really enjoying himself, and it's like that. Yeah, everybody enjoys things differently.
See, this is really like a tale of two different tales.
Yeah,
if I said that right.
A story from two sides.
Yeah.
Same building, two views. And what's funny is
one Harvey Dent, two faces.
Yeah, he's probably in his second bedroom recording a podcast, thinking like, "Oh, there's a guy behind me that was super lame." He was just standing there bobbing, bobbing his head.
I had all the fun for him.
I think he was listening to a podcast while he was there.
He was talking to me about the Huberman Project. How I need 10 minutes of sunlight every day. How I shouldn't take cold showers after my workout.
It's gonna lead to hair loss.
Yelling about a spa.
Yeah, exactly. What's really funny though is no man,
Niles, Illinois, man.
Come
King
on,
Spa.
man.
You and me afterwards.
There's a Korean grocery store right across the street. I'm telling you.
Dude, you're gonna feel great. You're gonna feel so relieved.
It's not that weird. It's not that gay.
You settle into it. After we shower, we hit the hot tub. We just enjoy our while.
This is the bros being bros. But no, the last time I went to, sorry, were you gonna say something?
Please continue.
Come on now. Fuck it up. Last time I went to a show, it was in Chicago too. I saw the Flogging Molly's. Right, it's like a big Irish brand, and I'm a bit of a Celt.
This guy's very cultured. To anybody who doesn't know,
like legit though, it was like an Irish like folksy band. We're talking about like the war and like IRA and like all this bullshit.
oh hell yeah, that makes
they went hard. They went hard, right?
They were probably like, "Fuck the Queen."
Oh, they were probably pretty happy. Right?
Imagine they were celebrating.
Come on now. But you know, I at the show and the previous shows before, I always get into an altercation. Some dude always like, you know, because most of the shows I go to had some kind of mosh pit. Even the techno ones, they're like, you know, the big Gigantics and the ZZ, I always get into some kind of mosh pit. And some dude always tries to like square us up in like in a friendly way or like they always assume I'm Samoan. So like either I'm Samoan or I'm some kind of like sumo, like martial artist guy that like wants to square up.
You want to get into it?
It's a test of strength, really, with me. And like the same thing happened with me like a couple months ago when I went to the Flogging Molly's, like this Irish
You're
show.
a human buffalo. Of course, people are just
gonna like always get with me, right?
Yeah.
And like I always get hit on by like drunk like moms at these shows too. My first show I ever went to was band camp with Caesar, right? I was 16, and these two drunk girls were like, they saw my actions in the mosh pit. No lie. Saw me and they're like, oh, you're like the king of the mosh pit. I'm like 16, like, yeah, I'm pretty tough. Yeah, I'm pretty tough. And like they were like just these two like, hefty moms that were just drunk and like just all over me and whatnot. Me and Caesar's brother.
Imagine being a parent and being impressed by.
How sad is your life? That the king of the mosh pit is the guy you want to court.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like one of the drunk guys. Like this.
There's an underage pubescent boy.
Yeah, he was barely got facial hair.
That makes it better.
I'm the king of the mosh pit. Yeah, I'm the best. But me and
Did I tell you I was on the football team? I was just. Who were you, Donkey?
I was Donkey in Shrek the Musical. Wow, you're really pretty, miss. But no, I'm not a virgin. But ever since then, every show I go to, I always get like hit on, or like some like lady comes up to me and like, where are you from? And like pretend to be like my date, so like no one tries to cut us off, because it's always like an advantage for them. They're using me for something, right?
Oh, they're using you as a meat shield.
Yeah, to get forward to the line, or like, oh, there's this tall guy coming, beat this barrier, so
you're
he
the great
doesn't
white
cut
buffalo.
off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, there's really a tale of two different perspectives when like shows.
100%.
I always seem to get into some kind of like issues.
Yo, since we're talking about shows, I'm just gonna say it. I'm glad I went to that Kendrick Lamar concert specifically on this particular album.
Oh, he was in Milwaukee, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Really?
and I went to that one, and like I am super glad I did, because I feel like, I don't know, that's gonna be like a modern classic for me. Like I don't really care if a lot of people are gonna be listening to that album years from now. I know that I'm probably gonna be listening to that like the way I listen to like certain Kanye West albums, where you just kind of have them on your regular loop. So like I'm super glad that I got to witness that, in person, not like years down the road whenever he came out and did like some, I don't know, like money grab tour because he's getting old and he has some debts or some shit.
Kind of great hits album. No offense to Kid Cudi, Kid Ghost.
No, yeah, so like I'm really glad like I got to see like the whole ensemble and his like dancing style, the way he performs. Like he's a low-key underrated performer. He has like a lot of Michael Jackson type performance, like I would say homages, like the gloves, the suit.
The suit that I mean, I keep seeing a bunch of things on TikTok of it'll be the music of like Mexican music, but it'll be Kendrick Lamar dancing on stage.
Oh really?
Yeah, and
that's
it, like,
hilarious because that does
syncs up perfect.
That does fit, dude. Because it's so tribal. Mm-hmm. It's so tribal. He's just like popping and locking and putting a step in.
He's having fun out there.
Yeah.
He's enjoying himself.
It's how the Liver King says, very primal.
Wow, this really shows like the dichotomy of this, like the podcast, right?
Yeah.
You're over here listening to Kendrick Lamar. You're over there seeing Kid Cudi, a nostalgia favorite. I'm over here supporting the IRA.
I will say, I didn't get into an altercation at my concert, but we got into an altercation afterwards. Because
in the parking lot?
No, it was Mexican Independence Day over the weekend, and it also happened to be.
You were there during that?
I was in Chicago during the whole thing. We stayed there the night, and so.
Oh, you fucked up,
dude! It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was a nut show.
I heard it was like borderline lawless.
It was borderline lawless.
Like,
so
people just started doing donuts on Michigan Avenue.
So get this. So, I mean, it was, and it took place not like South Side, not like out of the city. It took place downtown by the what do they call it? The
Millennium Park?
No, not by Millennium Park. What do they
Lincoln
call it?
Park? The beam?
They call it the Beautiful Mile or the
Magnificent Mile.
The Magnificent Mile. That's where it took place. It took place by like the Prada, the Gucci store. Like this wasn't out of the way.
Oh, the shopping district over there?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
So from the United Center to where we were staying.
That made it a little bit cooler, actually.
It was actually really bad.
I'm more scared. Think of all the property damage it could have caused.
Dude,
all right, Susan from the block, shut the fuck up.
They were using dump trucks to block off streets. They completely cut off the expressway. So they wanted everybody coming in one way and everybody leaving one way. They wanted to see everything. There was full feds out there, full everything. And I mean, it was quite the fucking spectacle.
I heard people were like just drinking on the streets, like taking shots off the back of
So this is
trucks.
what I mean. We got into an altercation afterwards. So we get inside my Uber, and I wasn't able to see the driver because I was sitting right behind him. But my fiance to the right back seat said he was shaking the whole time. It stunk of weed, and he was like, "I'm gonna take you over here. It's gonna be a quicker road." He must have been on a sightseeing tour because there was cars all in front of us. There was people, the car immediately in front of us had 2 teenagers hanging off the back seat out of the car, holding onto the sunroof, drinking tall boys, Mexican flags everywhere, people honking.
Jesus
We got
Christ.
to a stop sign. The car in front of us that I'm telling you about, the people leaning in the back, got out, lit up a firework. And this wasn't like a pew, pew. I mean, it went fucking in the air and exploded everywhere. And we just kept driving. It was fucking bananas. And yeah, people were drinking on the
I wanna go
streets.
next year. We should
They
go.
were honking. We should definitely go for
we should go.
I mean,
for
what-
vlogging purposes or just for fun.
Yeah, we should go.
What perfect timing, because they says decriminalize like any bail bonds, cash bonds.
That's gonna make it even crazier.
Exactly. They're just out there doing donuts, drinking on the streets.
Dude, you could hear music from everywhere. There was this guy that while we were waiting for the Uber had Mexican flag and looked over at us on the sidewalk. And I was like, Viva Mexico. And he's like, Epa! And just drove off. We're like, okay.
Did he have a lowrider while he was doing that too?
A lot of
he
pickup trucks.
bouncing away?
A lot of Nokia Mako trucks.
The Camanco trucks.
But no, man, that kind of segues great into the independence of a lot of South American countries. In a country, not a country, but an island that does not have its independence is Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're part of the 50 states, aren't they?
They're part of the union.
Yeah, they're not a state. They're
Yeah, what are they
part of
called?
the union.
protectorate or a territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with Alaska, ain't it?
No, Alaska is a state.
Alaska's a state.
Yes.
Alaska is a state.
What's the other thing? Yemen,
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Dude,
There we
you're
go.
really gonna have to edit the shit out of this one. You got
I'm
No.
Did you just say
geographically-
Yemen, which is in the Middle East, is
We-
a state?
What, Guam? I know we control one of those places.
Yeah,
Well,
Guam.
it's Guam and American Samoa
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the
And-
places no one gives a shit about.
Where's the Bikini Atoll? The Bikini Bottom? That place too.
You mean
Marshall Islands. I
the
think that's
Ayatollah of
what-
rock and rolla, Chris Jericho.
That's right.
Exactly, brother. But Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico,
Arriba.
and its most famous export, reggaeton, has been in the news lately because Bad Bunny put out a 22-minute music video with his song Apagón, which means the shut off in Spanish. And when you hear the song, you're just like, damn, the song goes hard. I never paid attention to the lyrics other than I like Pussy from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I'm from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has the best pussy.
Yeah, which is a great song. But
It
yeah, he
goes
put
hard.
out
Do you agree with the sentiment, buddy?
I've never met anyone from Puerto Rico. And I've only met one guy, and he turned out to diddle little kids. So,
Oh, Jesus.
Puerto Rican?
no. Yeah.
That took a left turn.
I knew
Yeah.
I didn't like Bad Bunny for a reason.
No, he wasn't the one diddling little kids. He's the one kissing guys.
What?
Why isn't he kissing me? You know what I mean?
Oh my god. But no, yeah, Puerto Rico. The thing. It's like a documentary series, right? 22 minutes. Vive aquí, vive gente, which in translation means people live here,
Yes.
right? And it's like, yes, it's like 4 minutes of like this badass, like, we get the best pussy from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is the best, and all this stuff. And then it gets into like this heavy stuff of like the electricity power outages from Hurricane Maria or Martha. I think
Maria.
Maria in 2017, about 5 years ago.
I don't know about you guys, but I will always be proud. And like when people talk about like how America has nothing to offer, I will always remember when Donald Trump gave them rolls of paper. I don't know about you guys.
It gave them rolls of paper and withheld $20 million. And
It reminded me, that picture reminded me of when the soldiers lifted the flag on Okinawa.
Damn right. It was just like, it brought like tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
I love Puerto
It was a
Rico.
beautiful moment.
I love the I love the population. I love the climate. What more would they like?
I love their bunnies. Some are good, some are bad.
Some are gay. I don't know. I don't know.
But
Hell yeah.
that's all we did for them, and unfortunately, it didn't help.
We barely did. Yeah, we barely did anything. They $20
We
million.
did nothing. We fucking did nothing.
And it's crazy how like so that's like 2017 hurricane
5 years ago, yeah.
Maria, Martha, what have you.
Maria.
Some indigenous name.
Tell me you're not racist again.
Yeah, some Aboriginese name.
Aboriginal.
Aboriginal.
They're from Australia.
Did
bro.
you read the script that Phil prepared at all? This is gold right here. The Mad Rabbit himself released a music / docu video on YouTube.
Yeah, the Mad Rabbit
The Mad
himself.
Rabbit.
Bad Bunny.
The Mad Rabbit. I like that. I like that.
Where's my phone? I need to bring that up.
Like
No,
Bad Bunny is already in English. You did it.
You fucking moron. I love you.
The Mad Rabbit himself. But no, it's crazy because like
Right next to you, by the way. If you
Tell us
wanna-
why it's crazy, Phil.
they had a power outages in 2017, and so they've been like dealing with electricity issues already, right?
Yeah.
And as far as like natural resources, but before the big crisis and during the crisis, well, actually right after the crisis, a lot of Wall Street people went in there like, now it's time. Now it's time to invest in Puerto Rico and just like laid the foundation to the current state of Puerto Rico now, which is awful for the local natives, which is what Bad Bunny illustrates in the 22-minute music video / documentary thing. Aquí vive la gente. Here lives people, and like it's seen like these story accounts from like these communities that's been there for 30 years, just being uprooted
Generation after generation, yeah.
within like a 30-day notice. It's like bam. Like, yeah, generations of
Yeah.
different Puerto Ricans. See, when you think of the state flag of Puerto Rico, you think of like two kids on like dirt bikes riding around like a pile of trash on fire.
I wasn't thinking that.
No.
I wasn't thinking that.
And the Dominican Republic, they're like Mexican, ain't they? They're like Haitian and Mexican.
Yes.
See? I'm cultured. Come on, man. Anthony Bourdain, more like Phil Correll. No reservations, brother. Come on, man.
So to explain what's going on, been a lot of people moving into the Puerto Rico with a lot of money because there are tax benefits.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also no taxes on cryptocurrency, real estate, and I believe there's a couple other ones.
No capital gains tax neither, so you can just
Right.
go out there and make a killing.
Right. So
You
Logan
pay very
Paul.
little taxes.
Yeah. What's that?
No, he was just saying that you go out there, make a killing, and pay very little taxes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're taking American money, and because technically it's an American property, you're using the dollar. So, over there runs a bit higher, and you can still have the same currency, so you don't lose any in the transfer.
Yo, if anybody's looking for a book to read up on like a subject like this,
Yes.
Naomi Klein is like a writer for The Intercept and has been for a long time. Wrote the book on disaster capitalism, and her like case study was New Orleans after Katrina, and she like basically wrote the book on this phenomenon, labeled it and everything, like giving it the name disaster capitalism. After a disaster, like the vultures come in, like literally vulture capitalists, Wall Street, people with large coffers, and they'll buy up the public goods and privatize them.
Similar to how Alex Jones was talking about how there's disaster actors.
No, we're not going down this route.
Okay.
But they privatized their light, which their
utilities.
electricity, and
Well, the electricity, the light, and the land. Some of these public beaches that, like, since within the past 5 years, since of the Hurricane Maria, all these investors from Wall Street, these Logan Pauls, these Brian Talbans, these Gucci designers and fashion designers, clothes designers are moving down there. The crypto bros are moving down there and like having construction sites built around these public beaches that have been in Puerto Rico for so many years. and now you can
They
no longer
belong
have
to the
access.
people, yeah.
No longer have access. They had a huge. One of the investors tried to build a pool next to the beach, next to El Dorado, right, which is one of the best beaches in
That's
Puerto
one of
Rico.
my favorite movies.
Both of them, the John Wayne and the cartoon. Come on, man. Let's go. But the fucking so the investors try to build a pool next to the fucking beach, and on top of that, they try to build a wall keeping people away from the beach. So a bunch of like the protesters started like halting the production of the construction out there on the beach. Right, it got so bad that it went to eventually to court, the Puerto Rican Supreme Court, whatever the fuck that is. Which is technically us, isn't it?
No, it's still private. It's still not private, I should say, but it's still like their own government.
Their own bodily government.
Yeah, exactly.
They went to court and they deemed it illegal to have any kind of construction that builds a wall that inhibits people from publicly accessing it, right?
Yeah.
So, what do? They don't take it down at all. They just leave it as it is. It was eventually up to the people to take it down. With the protesters. So like there's like a big movement of like the small like underdog story of like the people against like these big investors, bankers from Wall Street,
developers,
these big YouTubers, developers, crypto bros,
Yeah, and also the same people you're talking about with all the money are doing campaign donations to a lot of the government officials, which is why they're able to still keep getting away with it. There's actually there's been I think somewhere like 600 schools have been closed in the last 10 years.
It's so heartbreaking because the documentary also like from Bad Bunny, definitely check that out. Aquí Vive Gente talks about like the dudes coming out there like, oh, this is the school I used to go there. Miss Martinez was so hot. I used to have a big crush on her. Like hallmark moments.
Miss
like
Martinez
that.
Was his aunt.
Oh, I mean, I don't judge him. Keep Puerto Ricans, man.
So what was the name of the documentary? Or Luis, you might.
It's called. Well, if you just look up Bad Bunny, El Apagón, Aquí Vive Gente.
Okay, you'll find it.
You'll find it. So there's obviously the song that's about 3 minutes long, but the documentary / short film is about 22 minutes.
Since you guys brought up schools and like that sort of stuff, have you guys been like keeping up with similar events that are happening in Wisconsin?
With like hurricanes.
Like with the new Republican governor and the new like Republican legislatures
wait, Tony Evers is not the governor anymore?
No, Republican legislatures.
Oh,
the legislature is different from the governor. Oh, the governor candidate, Tim Michels.
Oh.
The Republican Party in Wisconsin wants to privatize school by 2023. All schools.
All schools?
Yeah.
And what's the benefit of that?
Because they're gonna work on a voucher program, and they're counting that like you're gonna send your kid to a school or a Christian school, because like the Christian like wing of the U.S. and the Republican Party are almost lock in step.
Is there it's a more of incentivized for the kids, for the families, that it's cheaper for them to go to Christian schools, or they're still going to be paying the same amounts for like they do now for like public schooling and food?
That's the thing. Like, it's a gamble that you don't really know which way is going to roll. Like it could like just blow up like public school systems, and then like overcrowd like a different school system, or it could just become this like teeter-totter balance of like everything seems to be underfunded, or who knows, right? I don't know. Like, I would be making it up, but I know that those are their intentions.
Would that be so bad?
Because they've like said it out loud.
Would that be so bad to go to a privatized Christian uproot in Wisconsin?
And then learning that abortion and being gay and all that stuff is a certain kind of way.
All right, you know what? You make some valid points, sir.
Yeah.
You've okay.
And then telling you can't outgrow your hair, like we've heard from like a friend that sends their child to one of those schools.
Yeah, we've had a mom on the.
But they're Catholic.
Show
That's a Catholic thing, ain't it?
Yeah, like Catholics are considered the liberal Christians, dog.
What?
It's not really a religious thing. It's more like if your boy is gonna be in this school, he must cut his hair short. It's kind of like that, you know what I mean?
Posh and proper,
or kind of like smack the gay out of him.
But that's the funny thing though. Most like Christian based, paleo Republicans, which is like a term that are like more like Republicans based, leaning toward Christianity, right? the waspy families are like mostly gays, right? They're the most closeted homosexual people that are like, getting caught like in hotel rooms with dudes and all this stuff. So
I will say every person of the LGBT community that I've met started off as a Christian.
Really?
Yeah, every single one I've met started off Christian.
Wow, I hadn't heard that one.
No, not one single person I've met, and trust me, I've done my research.
You've asked every single one about their religious beliefs?
No, I'm just.
I mean, can you blame them though? They made Jesus Christ so fucking hot.
Yeah, dude.
He's got 6 packs. He's
did not.
He's got that smoldering face looking at the.
He's wearing a loincloth.
So stoic.
Yeah. He's got that defining jaw.
No, it just so happened that like most of the people I'd met, like that eventually comes out that I'm like, so were you like atheist growing up? And they're like, no, man, I was like full Christian, and I like believed in the system, and I'm like, that's so interesting.
The system made me gay.
Is that what happened to you, Phil?
What? Me? I'm a law-abiding, a faith-abiding citizen.
Yeah, you're a
when was the last time you were at church?
Your wedding? Your wedding?
Valid point, yes. So I got my card for the year.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as I keep doing good deeds out there,
Yeah.
I'll start marking points with the big man upstairs.
Yeah. Real quick, before we move on, and I have a interesting topic. It's modern day, colonization, especially with the day of rape and genocide of Indigenous People Day coming up.
Christopher Columbus Day?
How dare you call it that?
Oh, come on, man.
You fucking bigot.
Come on,
no, man, I think people should keep their eye on this and actually, do more than just put a Bad Bunny link in their Instagram story. Like, actually, like, hey, this is a problem, and if it's starting right now in Puerto Rico, people have done it in Mexico for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, they'll just go down there and spend their millions and, live like kings while they treat the people like trash. Like, it's going to keep happening.
Gentrification, right?
And then the thing that makes that place beautiful, they want to get rid of. They want to make it just shitty the way that it was where they're from, right? So you see a lot of people from LA moving to Austin, and now they brought all the homeless people with them.
Yeah, now Austin's pretty much like a war zone.
Yeah, now Austin's like, all the locals are like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't expect this. Like,
the property tax went up exponentially in the past 2 years.
Infrastructures can't keep up with the amount of people moving, and it's just like, it's just not helping out.
Yeah, you made a valid point. It starts with Puerto Rico, and it starts with like these little like domestic places in America with like LA and Texas. But soon it's gonna be state by state,
Dude, it happens to Lake Geneva in the Walworth County area every summer with like all these darn Indonesians coming into my land and want to use my beach where I'm from.
All these people coming in from their third world states.
They're wearing their Old Navy. And I'll be gosh darned that I want to drink some Pabst Blue Ribbon on my beach, and I can't do that.
So you guys have Malort?
Every year we have to get back at them, right, by beating the Bears.
Hey, the Bears. 27-10.
Fair.
27-10, baby.
Every year, that's the only joy we get after. They just shut our towns all summer. We'll wait till fall. Like Aaron Rodgers will get you back.
Yeah, Justin Fields is coming up, isn't he? No, he's not. You forgot we had the refs on our side.
Justin Fields. Speaking of Fields, this whole like Mexican. Is that not a good segue?
No,
it's a great segue.
Hold on. Let me get to the Field segue.
When we wrap up Puerto Rico, I do want to say I do kind of challenge you guys locally to keep more of an eye on your backyard rather than keeping an eye on such an international lens. When the same thing is quite literally happening in your backyard, and you are way more likely to have an impact in your backyard than an ocean away. So that was just being my final closing statement on that.
I hate married you so much. You become such a dad. You're wearing flannels, talking about getting New Balances. Before we start making an impact across the world, how about we make your own bets first? How about we take a look outside?
Is Jordan
take
Peterson
a look
wrong
in the
all
mirror?
The time,
all the time, yes. What's wrong with men? We need nothing.
We need more men. But goddamn. But you
Um,
do make a valid point. Look, in your own, stomping grounds before you can make a valid.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
You
also
know?
with Puerto Rico, I know you guys talk about like Hurricane Maria, but literally like Hurricane Fiona was upgraded to Category 4 today. Like down.
Oh yeah,
that?
they're about to.
They have a new one.
Yeah,
they have a new one.
It's been
Bro.
smashing
That's why
them, like,
this
this whole week.
Oh,
It's been
okay.
like destroying them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's been hit pretty bad.
In the documentary, they talk about like houses that were like ravaged from the first hurricane, and the troubles that they went through to get like insurance covered and like any proper like documentation.
Probably
that, like,
pulling teeth to make shit happen.
exactly. And now they just got hit with another hurricane.
Yeah.
They still have
It's
it.
like a pretty bad hurricane.
That's like having AIDS and then you get cancer.
yeah, because right now it says half
Having
the
AIDS and then
country,
getting COVID.
It doesn't have water, and then like 2/3 doesn't even have power. So
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, at least the Logan Paul Bad Bunny side has power.
Hey, you know what? You know who could be the savior for all this Puerto Rican bullshit?
Bad Bunny turns
No.
into like Puerto Rican Batman.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul is down there and he hasn't helped out at all.
Well, 'cause
Yeah, what happened to all these like crypto projects that were gonna like save the island?
They've done nothing.
well, he's busy.
Ding Doink fucking bombed. He made no money off it.
What did you just say?
Who's Dink Doink?
Dink Doink coin? Are you guys unfamiliar with this?
No, I'm
He made
not.
this whole.
Is that?
like-
Are you saying a person? Is that a? name
I'm
of a
saying the coin. So
Okay.
he had this project that he was a part of.
person? When you're saying
Uh,
he, who's he?
Logan Paul.
Okay.
Allegedly made no money from it. However, you could always be paid in dividends and options. There's other ways that you can make money.
File bankruptcy, take no loss at it.
There's a lot of ways, right? Especially once
All
you get
sorts of assets.
Yeah, what happened to all these crypto brothers that we were going to go to the moon and motherfuckers never even made it out of the state? So
Yeah.
Dink Doink was another one of those. He made a whole cartoon about it. It was like a song. It was South Park style. And it did absolutely nothing. It fucking bombed alongside a bunch of the other coins that were
Damn.
marketed and pushed by all these influencers,
Damn.
and they did nothing. So
Well, in defense of the LP, good old Logan Paul, good old LP over there, he was training to dethrone Roman Reigns. He's been in the gym, just curling the curls, walking up the elliptical or the Stairmaster, whatever he uses.
Logan.
Logan Paul.
Alright.
He's in the WWE Spectrum Spear, and he's going back to Saudi Arabia. And if you're familiar with any of the big WWE shows in Saudi, or they perform in Saudi Arabia, it's always big money.
Yeah.
They pulled The Undertaker from retirement. They pulled the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, out of retirement. They pulled these old people from retirement for big money pays, right?
Because they want the classics over there. They want nothing
yeah,
but
they want the
classics.
people they grew up on.
Most of
Yeah.
their television is still in the 90s, so they're still watching the VHH
They
tapes over
just
there.
watched Brock Lesnar do the suplex on the Big Show that destroyed the SmackDown arena.
They just found out Brock Lesnar was in the NFL.
They're
Man,
going to
this
be
guy
sad
looks
once
like
he
a-
leaves.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
they can come back like, oh no, The Rock got beat.
Dude, I bet Saudi Arabia is way nicer than Wisconsin.
Oh, I mean, not to their women, but I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean-
You're kind of taking that out of context. So if you're comparing like a very small portion of Saudi Arabia to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. I just like I like these places are like luxurious as fuck when like yeah, they're just like luxurious as fuck, like. And you're right though. It's like a very small portion of the country. Like the rest of it is very suppressed and living in a different place.
And fucking shitting in holes.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have a penis, you can't drive a car.
Yeah, that is true.
You got to walk everywhere.
That is part of their culture, though. We don't want to offend them.
No.
that is true.
And, hopefully Logan Paul brings more culture to Saudi Arabia once he dethrones Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
Logan Paul's just in every fucking combat like arena, just talking shit to everybody.
Dude, he fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, like
Jesus Christ.
And I'm guessing he made a lot of money off of that.
he's like talk shit to NBA players, like UFC dudes.
Now WWE dudes. Like the top
Roman
two.
Roman Reigns is like the most close to his actual size though, because Logan Paul's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, they're
and he
both
fights.
big.
He fights nothing but dudes who are like way over 30, or like dudes who are like 30 pounds lighter than him. And
Roman Reigns is a beast. He's gonna
Yeah.
smash him.
but like it's gonna be choreographed, and they're gonna like
Just put on a good show.
yeah, put on the show.
Dude, speaking of good shows, you guys have to watch the next season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette, because I watched the finale of The Bachelorette last night, and this shit was bananas.
Dude, how many betrayals? Like, I love you, but in reality, it was you. And then the chick takes a rose. She's like, I love it, but I'm not ready. Is it that kind of like twist and turns?
Even better.
Ooh.
So it already started. This most recent season of The Bachelorette. This is where we're gonna get the female audience. The most recent season of The Bachelorette already started interestingly because for the first time ever there was 2 bachelorettes/bachelors. There was 2 bachelorettes, and the reason there was 2 is because in the previous season, which was The Bachelor, the guy led on 3 women and was dating all 3 until the very end. Like had sex with all 3, was lying to the 3 of them. And the one that he ended up going with, he went off to live a fake fairy tale. So the 2 that were left over became the contestants for the next show. And already you're like, this sounds kind of like, how is this going to work? Because you get 20 guys in the room. And so they're like just trying to be in it to win it. But at the same time, they have to try to get with one, but maybe have feelings for the other. About halfway through, one of the guys literally fucking leaves one to try to compete for the other one when there was already down to like 5 on both sides. So he had already made it down to the final 10, and he's like, can I be honest with you? Sits down with the chick, and he's like, I still have feelings for the other one. Like,
bro, I'm listening to this. I'm already hooked.
Bro was playing the long game. He was like, this one clearly likes me, but I want to get back with the other. Goes with the other one, gets kicked out after a couple of weeks, no big deal. But then last night, finale, it's live. It's 3 hours, right? And I'm like, 3 hours? Dude, I'm like, this is going to be fucking bullshit, right? Both of them have an engagement at the end, but the one of the contestants, while the show had ended and they were getting ready for this finale, the guy cheated on her with someone from back home. So they were living long distance, doing press, like getting ready for the show, blah, blah, blah. This guy cheats on her. They start talking to her. They're like, what did you think? You're obviously not engaged anymore. What's going to happen? They showed the clip of them like having a conversation about how he cheated, why he cheated. The whole time he was projecting on her. He's like, well, you told me it was over and that it wasn't going to work out. And she's like, when did everything I've said is on camera? When did I say that? And he's like, I don't know. You're just not trusting me. I don't know what's going on.
Let's go.
Goes outside the house, talks to the cameraman. He's like, I can't fucking do this. I can't fucking do this. She's calling me the bad guy. Goes back in. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you don't love me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, you did this. You haven't said you're sorry once. And then it cuts, the clip cuts. And then the producer of the show is like, have you talked to him since? And she's like, no. They bring him out. And he's like in front of a live audience. They're literally booing him. This ain't the fucking Bachelorette. This is Maury. Like it is high-end ABC choreographed Maury. He comes out, says the same shit. You said you don't love me, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right. The producer looks at the girl and he's like, so can I say very clearly that it's over? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, all right, well, normally we would cut to break, but there's a guy here who pleaded to come back and have a chance with you. And they bring out the guy who she turned down on the very last episode. The crowd erupts, cheers, and he's like, you want to get out of here? And I'm like, what the fuck is going? Like, this is not real. And so they go off, and the producer's like, so this is really awkward. And the guy's still sitting there.
The guy that cheated at the very end.
Yeah, he's like, can I go? And he goes, I don't know. This is really weird. I wasn't expecting this to happen. He's like, you're pissing it on purpose. And people are just cheering whatever. The next couple goes on. They have a fantasy, whatever. They got engaged in Mexico, no big deal. But then they have on the contestant of the next Bachelor that's going to start airing. And they're like, your season starts now. They bring out 5 girls. They introduce themselves or whatever. Then the piece of shit producer is like, can you tell me any of the names of the 5 girls you just met? And it's just dead fucking silence. And the 5 girls are just standing there like, no. One of them. And he's like,
Brittany.
Literally, it was like
God damn.
Balin? And he's like, you're close. It's Bailey. And they show the camera to them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
They just clowned the poor dude.
This guy is like,
I guess not the poor dude.
Bricks. Like, You guys have to watch. I mean, it is fucking.
What is the show called? Total Drama Island.
That's what it was like. It was so made up, and I'm like, all right, I can get behind this. I can fucking get behind this.
That's a real soap opera right there.
So then now, the four of us in here right now. What is if you were going to one that on this? If you were to go on and become a contestant on The Bachelor, what is the one question that you would ask the other person? And when they ask you what your biggest red flag is, what would your answer be? And I feel like, Phil, you know what your biggest red flag is, so I'll start with you.
Hold on. If I'm on The Bachelor and I'm...
Oh. Will you have this rose? There we go. Get into it.
No. Juliet.
Is that a little too close to a certain name?
No, Juliet. I'm going Romeo and Juliet here now. Hold on.
We'll cut that out. Yeah.
I'm going biblical here.
Yeah, you're going biblical. Yeah. Like Romeo and Juliet.
John 3:16.
Yeah.
Austin Stone Cold 316. But let me get back in character here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the win it for the prize because you get $1 million or what, $100,000 too, and
no,
the lady.
No, you just get the person. No,
you get the person. You get a ring that's bless you. That's worth about $100,000, and you also get to, if you're the main bachelor / bachelorette, you get to pretty much travel the world for free. They send you to Mexico. I mean, you have all these like insane dates. They like put you in a jet. I mean, it's crazy.
No, Juliet. We've been talking for about 12 weeks now. We're getting close to the grand prize. But in reality, the grand prize is your heart. Now, how about we quit this silly business, this theatrical show for the cameras? We go back home, we make a sick porno, we leak it ourselves, and we make all the money. There we go.
That is the brilliant question you would ask.
Yeah,
right?
What was the question?
Yeah, what was the question? What was your red flag?
What is your biggest red flag?
I feel like you just took like you think you just got placed on the set as a contestant.
I was putting myself in the shoes. That's
Yes.
that's how you win.
Yeah, you didn't listen to the question. No, if anything, for you, I would have said that you would have been like Lenny from Mice and Men. You know, you know, like
His biggest red flag.
Yeah, you would have like. Yeah, I'm sorry, ladies. Like my one worst thing or red flag is that I love too hard.
I don't know.
I feel like that is your biggest.
Love.
I feel like that might be your biggest red flag.
I love. Wait, so we're talking about my personal love flag?
Yes. You have to ask the contestants a question, and what is your biggest red flag?
I thought I was looking for their red flags. And the red
I
flag.
kind of like the way this developed, though.
Yeah, I do like the way this developed.
Luis, you got any answers for that, buddy?
My biggest red flag is I'm way too honest all the time. It is impossible for me to stop that.
But what look fat in this?
What would dude? I'd go up there and I'd be like, I don't even know what name to use. I'm like going through the list of like names. I'll pick a gender neutral name. Skaleka. You have been such a treasure to be around, and it has been a journey with you. And it's not about the journey, it's about the destination. What's your body count?
All right.
That would be the only way.
That's a red flag right there.
That's not a red flag, but it'd be like.
He said his red flag was he's too honest.
That's my red flag.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's your red? The body count's the honesty thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a valid point, though, right? Is this?
I'd be like, we've made it to this far. I need to know if I'm going to be engaged to a slut or a good Christian lady.
What's your preference?
Well, it depends on the lady.
Which answer are you hoping for?
Depends on the lady. If I'm like, you look like fucking boring, and she's like, I've had sex with 55 guys at once. I'm like,
so you're a
sign
pig.
Me up. Sign me up.
So you're a pig.
But if they're like 2, I'm like, I'll get down on one knee. I'll get down on one knee.
We're about to make that 3.
About to make that 2.5.
That's great.
Wait, what?
That's fucking great.
What about Juan? Biggest red flag.
I mean, my biggest red flag, I think, is pretty obvious. Like, I'm a lot stupider than I come off initially. I feel like you learn that the further deeper you go. I feel like just be honest with that, you know? That's number one, first and foremost. I guess.
You're stupid.
I know you think I'm a real scholar, but
No, I'm pretty fucking stupid.
you're in for a surprise.
No, I'm pretty stupid.
I usually order off the kids menu.
No, this
I try to lie about my age at restaurants. I mean, and if I had to ask a question, I would ask them who they would most like to have dinner with, because like I feel like it's a super easy question that kind of like reveals a lot about yourself.
That could go in so many ways. They could say something really like, "Oh, you know what?" Like,
I might ask 2 or 3 or something like
right?
that. You know,
They're like
to get a general feel, but I feel like if they tell you some real airheaded answer, there it is. you know?
right. They could say like Tim
Yeah.
Ferriss, and you're like, "All right," or they could be like, "I fucking love Call Her Daddy," and you're like, "Oh God."
call her.
It'd be really funny if she was like Jordan Peterson, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "I guess I'm down."
Dude, if they say Alex Jones or Stephen Molyneux.
Dude, what if they said Ben Shapiro?
Andrew Tate. Are you gonna be like, oh yeah?
Yo, if they say Ben Shapiro, it's probably like a sexy Jewish girl. And
All right, now I'm back on board.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There we go.
Like,
Come on now.
Damn right.
Can we please film
Shalom.
a one-day Bachelor for Phil?
Fair. Can we take video of Phil trying to pretend to be a pickup artist?
Trying to pretend? You mean
Pretend.
successfully?
Or that, pretending to be a pickup artist and then successfully picking them up. I feel like pickup artistry is kind of lowbrow. What he would be practicing something at a higher level.
Look, man, the only reason why there's any pussy left is because
You're
I
not
didn't get there
trying.
first. That's a famous quote by Ben Simmons. That
You're
people
leaving
used to
some
say.
for the rest of us.
That's why anyone.
Ben Simmons, the basketball player?
Yeah, the reason why anyone has a girlfriend left is because Ben Simmons didn't get there first.
You know, and I could.
That's fair.
By the dude's a stud.
Yeah, see?
He can't shoot, but the dude's a fucking stud.
Who's that like old timey basketball player, Kareem or something, that claimed
Kareem
who claimed to
Abdul-Jabbar.
fuck like 2,000 girls?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I swear, there's like some all time. Look up all time.
You mean Magic Johnson?
All-time NBA player fucked 2,000 people. I think it might have been people too. Like he didn't discriminate.
I know Ric Flair has mentioned that he slept with like 100,000 ladies before.
The first 2 searches are X videos. Fucked basketball player. Not what I'm looking for right now.
If you want to send that link over for production purposes.
How many? Oh, Will Chamberlain.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's
Will
more like
Chamberlain.
it.
Did
There
Will
you go.
Chamberlain sleep with 20,000 women?
I told you. See, I was low. Like I was.
By the way, 31,000 points in the NBA.
It's insane.
So if he started having sex at the age of 15 to the age of 55, 40 years to sleep with 20,000 women, that's 500 women a year. That's 1.4 women per day. Damn, dude. So he has to do at least a threesome every other day.
Yeah.
No. Dude,
that feels like too much.
He's out of his fucking
That feels like too
mind.
much.
I don't know. With a name as Chamberlain,
You know what?
that's a powerful name.
That's why they make kids finish high school in order to go to the NBA, because there's that famous clip.
There's too
of,
many idiots like this one.
There was that famous clip of Kevin Garnett not being able to read on live TV, and they're like, "Man, we are doing these kids an injustice. We need to make them go through basic English and basic math, just be able to live the moment they're done."
God damn.
It's bad.
Well,
Any closing notes?
Honestly, I learned so much today that I didn't think I would learn. From the beginning of this podcast to where we are now, I am proud to say that I'm a Bad Bunny supporter.
Not for the music.
Oh yeah, just to emphasize, I think his music's garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's Puerto Rican, right?
Oh, no.
Ooh. Bring it home, Phil. Bring it home.
Folks, after a long day, and reintroducing ourselves with Leo over here, it's important to remember that communities can be taken away, cultures can be taken away. Precious moments like we're having now with the bros, with you, our viewers at home, can be gone in an instant. But before that happens, like and subscribe. so you can be cemented in history with the bros. Thank you. Go on. As you can see, I'm planning to take over Puerto Rico. As you can see.
That was beautiful. I am so grateful to be present and here with some lovely fellows and the viewers and the listeners, and it's just nice to be alive and here right now.
Mm-hmm. Live, present, and well.
And together. Leo, any final words?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's been fun, learning a lot from you guys.
No.
I'm excited
a lot
to
of
see
crazy.
Other crazy shenanigans we get into.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Juan, bring it home. End the show.
Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, above all else, like and subscribe. Make sure you visit our platform and our content on as many platforms as possible. And above all else, like and subscribe. That's all I got to say.